This is Lucas Raymond, and there's a case to be made that he is the most underrated young star that the NHL has to offer. The Detroit Red Wings haven't been in the playoffs since he has entered the league, and that may be the reason he isn't talked about as much as he should be. But as Detroit gets better and better, more eyes will end up on Raymond, and people will be woken up to how elite he truly is. If you've watched the Red Wings over the past few seasons, you already know that Raymond is absolutely essential to what Detroit is building. Although Dylan Larkin has been the face of the team, and with good reason, I believe Raymond will overtake him as the franchise forward they have been waiting for. Since being drafted 4th overall in 2020, Raymond has been a staple on the Red Wings' top lines. He's often been tasked with playing against the other team's best while still putting up impressive numbers himself at both ends of the ice. So today, I'm going to dive into Lucas Raymond's story from his time in Sweden to his rise through the NHL ranks with Detroit. We'll take a look at his career so far and what exactly it is that makes him such a special talent. With that, I'll discuss why he might just be one of the most underrated building blocks in the league today. Lucas Raymond was born in Gothenburg, Sweden back in 2002. And ever since, he has been an elite hockey player throughout his years. He, his father, and his brother would play floorball with each other almost every night up until Raymond was a teenager. This goes to say that hockey completely dominated his life, and it wasn't long before he joined Frölunda, one of Sweden's development powerhouses. And as a teenager, he was already making some noise. At just 16 years old, Raymond made his SHL debut, one of the youngest to ever do so. He scored 2 goals in 10 games as a 16-year-old in the SHL and continued to improve year over year. By the time the 2020 NHL draft rolled around, he had already been compared to some elite two-way wingers and was viewed as one of the top prospects in the NHL draft. Despite the confusion around the draft because of the COVID-19 pandemic, Raymond's body of work was strong enough to make him the 4th overall selection by the Detroit Red Wings. Steve Yzerman's second first-round pick as the general manager following Moritz Seider the year prior. The franchise's next cornerstones had been set. Raymond joined the Red Wings full-time in 2021-2022 after playing his Draft Plus 1 season with Frölunda in the SHL. Right away, he was handed the reins, playing the majority of the season in a top 6 role alongside Dylan Larkin. He made an instant impact. In just his 6th NHL game, he scored a hat-trick against the Chicago Blackhawks, while adding an assist in the process. By the end of his rookie season, he was already Detroit's 3rd leading scorer. What made that season even more impressive was that Raymond wasn't sheltered. He was regularly facing top defensive matchups and still driving play. There were some inconsistencies, but the season overall was a massive success for him. The next season, 2022-2023, was a bit more turbulent. Raymond's production dipped, but his all-around game continued to grow. He became more involved defensively and took strides in puck retrieval and zone exits. Although the offense decreased, Raymond improved on his plus-minus from -32 to -17. Still not great, but a major step in the right direction. And then came the 2023-2024 season, and that's where Lucas Raymond truly took the next step. With Alex DeBrincat added to the roster and the Red Wings in playoff contention mode from day one, Raymond stepped up. He hit 30 goals for the first time and helped the Red Wings come as close to the playoffs as possible without making it. Perhaps the best example of his growth came in the final weeks of the season. Detroit needed wins, and Raymond was leading the charge. He was scoring big goals and making plays in all 3 zones, recording 12 points in the final 8 games of the season as the Red Wings looked to clinch. He was also one of the only Red Wings to play in all 82 games, which is a valuable attribute for a player that often goes unnoticed. It's clear that the Yzer plan is coming together, and Lucas Raymond is a core piece of it. Yzerman has recently earned his share of doubters, and there may be some merit to certain criticisms, but the young talent he has acquired in the draft is undeniable. Raymond has been through the rebuild years and now looks ready to be a leader in Detroit's next era. Through 4 NHL seasons, Lucas Raymond has been remarkable. His rookie year in 2021-2022, he tallied 23 goals and 57 points in 82 games, finishing 4th in Calder Trophy voting. His teammate Mo Seider finished 1st by a significant margin. He followed up that with a 17-goal, 45-point sophomore campaign in 74 games. Again, he was slightly down, but it was still solid considering Detroit's team-wide struggles. And in 2023-2024, he broke out in a huge way with 31 goals and 72 points in the full 82-game season, leading the Red Wings. This past season, he took yet another step forward, reaching the 80-point plateau in a full 82-game season. This again on a Detroit team that did not make the playoffs. That gives him a total of 98 goals and 254 points in 320 games by the age of 23. Not to mention, he was also Detroit's leading point scorer again this past season by 10 points. Alex DeBrincat and Dylan Larkin both finished with 70 points apiece. The advanced stats support this value as well. He has a positive related Corsi, strong defensive zone metrics, and excellent transitional play. All signs of an elite winger in the making. In fact, he finished second in expected goals for percentage on the Red Wings this past season, behind just Marco Kasper. Lucas Raymond's game is built on intelligence and elite hockey sense. He's one of the better skaters in the NHL, but he can also use his hands while skating at high speeds to manipulate his way through defenses. What makes Raymond so effective is his ability to create time and space not just for himself, but for his teammates as well. He's excellent at using the boards, slipping passes through tight seams, and playmaking in the offensive zone. His shot isn't overpowering, but it's deceptively quick and accurate. He's especially dangerous in high slot areas, and his release is lightning quick. He can beat goaltenders before they even realize he's looking to score. Defensively, Raymond is far more advanced than your average winger his age. He's willing to play the game the right way, and as the Red Wings look to transition into a contender once again, it will be commitment like that from Raymond that will help them get there. And above all, he's unselfish. He doesn't force plays, and he's just as happy setting up a teammate as he is finishing a play himself. A lot of players love to cheat for offense and try to pad their stats a little bit, especially when they're younger, but Raymond is far more interested in playing a winning brand of hockey at both ends of the ice. That style of play may not allow him to score the most amount of points possible, but it does help win games, and coaches love players like Raymond for that exact reason. At just 23 years old, Lucas Raymond is already one of the most polished young forwards in the NHL, and yet there's still so much room for him to grow. The skill and potential in his game leads me to believe he could be one of the best wingers in the entire NHL. If he continues his trajectory, he could easily be a 35 to 40 goal scorer with 90-plus point potential, especially if the Red Wings' power play operates at a high rate. With Todd McLellan behind the bench for a full season, Raymond and the Red Wings may both be able to take that next step. He's also a strong candidate for a future leadership role in Detroit. He already plays big minutes, handles pressure situations, and sets an example with his work ethic. Don't be surprised if he wears an A on his jersey in the future alongside players Dylan Larkin and Moritz Seider. In the long run, Raymond projects as a cornerstone top-line winger. Some may be hesitant to go this far, but I believe he can be a franchise-altering talent. For the Red Wings, I see him becoming the face of the franchise and a bona fide top 10 to 15 winger in the NHL during his prime years. If Detroit gets back to being a consistent playoff team, Raymond will be right in the middle of it all. He might not get the same hype as his 2020 draft classmate Tim Stützle, but don't let that fool you. Lucas Raymond is the real deal, and he is right there with Stützle as being one of the best young stars in the entire NHL. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you left it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also be sure to leave a comment down below, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.